Here are a few things that didn't work out for me at 32 versus the things that I gained instead. So I didn't climb the corporate ladder, but instead I became a freelancer. 6 years into freelancing, I still wonder how I survived the past 6 years, but I'm very, very happy about making this choice and taking this risk, because looking back now, I don't think that I would have been able to climb the corporate ladder. Working full-time in an agency kind of drained my creativity. I wasn't really able to express my creativity. I didn't have a creative outlet there because it was just very, very project management agency based. And I'm not saying that like becoming a freelancer will change that, because I'm still looking at tons of spreadsheets every day, but I'm still very proud of myself that I took the risk and decided to become a freelancer 6 years ago, and I have never looked back since. Like, don't get me wrong. There were a lot of tears. Like, I cried a lot, in the past 6 years, and it was very tough, and I was on the brink and on the verge of a burnout. I had a lot to fight against, like imposter syndrome and everything, but we're here now, so I'm really glad. I always thought that I would climb the corporate ladder and be a CEO somewhere, but now I have my own business and my own personal brand, and I have a company. So you could technically call me a business owner, but I do see myself more as a creative freelancer. I always thought that I was gonna buy a house at 32, like at 30, but instead I was able to live in London, the city that I very much love, and to be very flexible and go places without having the burden of a mortgage on top of me. Even when I was working for like different agencies, I always came across people that had a mortgage, and although they hated their job, they just couldn't leave their jobs because they had a mortgage to pay for. And that really scared me, and I don't think that I ever wanted to be in a position where I basically had no choice but to work for a place that I hated so much because I had a mortgage that I have to pay for. And don't get me wrong, like further down the line I do want to buy, but for now I just really enjoy that flexibility of being able to do literally whatever I want. So I really have gained the freedom of life that I think my younger self would have dreamed of. I live in London, but I always thought that I was gonna live in this picture-perfect Pinterest apartment in London by myself, until reality hit me, and in London it is so expensive to rent on your own. Although I could probably pay for it, I just don't really see the point of renting by myself because I think it's stupid. Like, I genuinely think it's stupid. I have a flatmate and best friend that I get along with for the past 7 years, and so I never really had to opt for having to live somewhere by myself. I think if I had to choose between living with a stranger or living by myself, then I would have probably rented something by myself. But sometimes I do think like living with your best friend for the past 7 years was amazing. So although I didn't live in that picture perfect Pinterest apartment somewhere in East London, I had the best 7 years of my life living in this apartment, this very humble apartment, and I really became the woman that I am today in this apartment. It will break my heart the day I have to move out of this apartment, which will be December this year, but we're not going to talk about this right now. I lost touch with people that I thought would be forever, but instead I gained a very small and supportive circle. People that really care for me, look after me, that I trust, that I love to spend time with, people that charge my energy instead of draining my energy. Because when I came to London, I would say I had a lot more acquaintances and a bigger circle of friends, but it really narrowed down to literally a handful. I have a very supportive circle still at home, and being connected nowadays through like my phone and social media, it does make life easier, although most of my close friends and family live in Germany and I live in London. Like, I'm 32 now and I have never stuck to a single fitness plan until the end, but instead I went to therapy, I healed my relationship to food and my body, and I instead found movement that I actually enjoy, like running, mat pilates, going on walks. These are the things that I genuinely value. Although I might not have been able to stick to a single fitness plan, I did find movement that I very much enjoyed. So yeah, to be honest with you, it's not exactly where I thought I was going to be at 32, but I think it's exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am super blessed. I have lovely people around me and I have a career that fulfills me. Although obviously you always want to improve your career, you always think about maybe there's something else that you will enjoy, but I will find out this year. This year is a very transformative year for me. I will go traveling, I will face a lot of uncertainty, and I am kind of ready for it. Like, I feel good about it. At 32, I might not be married or have children, but I am so proud of myself. Like, I really built a life that I wanted. I always dreamed of being this like cool laptop girl, working away on her laptop, and it's exactly what I became. And I genuinely think that my younger self, if she would know this, she would be so chilled and so calm growing up. I went to therapy. It was one of the best things I did for myself. It was amazing. So yeah, even if you're not where you want to be at 32, just trust the process, because honestly, things will fall into place. And I do want to trust God. I want to trust the process. I want to trust that God will always lead me towards something that is meant for me without forcing it. It worked out pretty well for the past 6 years, and so I hope that it will continue to work. If you're here for the first time and you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel and leave a comment so that I know I'm not talking against the wall. And yeah, see you soon.